Oh, good. Now we're recording.
Yeah.
Figured it out. All right, so let's get.
What a great start to the show or podcast.
Yes, it is a show, not a podcast. I get to redo it because this is the part that'll be going up on YouTube later. So, hello everybody, welcome back. I'm your host Michael Garaffa, alongside Ryan Blank, Nick Nath, and Marco Peralta. We are ready for an electrifying show today. This is going to be an awesome time. It's going to be great. How you guys doing?
Well, I'm hanging in there. Today's not a little bit sad because we all got the news of what happened to the great Black Mamba. I grew up watching the guy. It's a very unfortunate event because it's something that you never expected. Obviously, no one expects people. Well, obviously, like at some point in our lives, we're expected to die. But like a guy that had such a phenomenal career, arguably one of the best players who ever played the game. Just yesterday, LeBron James. He passed Kobe Bryant to be the third all-time scorer, and the day after, the actual person he passed away. That's heartbreaking, and it is what it is. That's life, unfortunately. I remember growing up watching him play. He's the reason I became a Laker fan. He's the reason why I got into basketball. And I just remember like that series against the Celtics, the last championship the Lakers had. That was just so amazing. Like it made my childhood one of the best childhoods ever, just seeing him play.
Yeah, and I mean, I never watched much of basketball, but obviously he's such a legendary player, and he was one of those guys. When I did watch basketball occasionally when I was growing up, he's such an amazing player, and you're never going to forget the way he played. And honestly, this is very reminiscent to Roy Halladay passing.
Yep.
If you want to look at it like that.
Yeah.
A player who's retired, really influential player in their career. And, I mean, I wasn't super broken up when Roy Halladay passed, but it was still a very, very sad moment. I think the most I was broken up about...
remember Roberto Clemente?
Yeah.
That's true. I wasn't as broken up about that because we didn't watch him play.
Yeah.
It's a big name.
With all due respect to Roy Halladay and Clemente, like, every single person, no matter what sport they were in...
Oh, you think of the Lakers? First thing that pops in your head?
It's Kobe Bryant.
It's of course. Kobe.
Yeah. So, like, legit, something I put on my Twitter... today after this incident is like this is like the closest the world is actually going to get to actually stopping and focusing on one issue.
Yeah.
It'll be like, where were you when this happened kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Like when Michael Jackson died or something like that.
Like I just got out of church. I was coming here to do my bottom of the sixth show, and legit 10 minutes before I go on the air, the news broke, and I was just devastated. It was hard for me to go on the air.
Yeah.
But now we're here. Let's do this.
Yeah.
The worst thing was, I've not heard my dad cry in 6 years. And he calls me just bawling. And I was like, because he's from L.A.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I remember when Jose Fernandez died, that had me really, really broken up, getting to watch him play.
Yeah. I personally just hate the end to the month of January. Because 4 days ago was the 3-year anniversary of Yordano Ventura's death, which hits home to me. It's devastating. It's sad that this whole thing happened. Only 41 years old.
Yeah, it's devastating. It's always hard whenever we lose a player.
And just a couple of days ago, it was his 16-year anniversary. It was 81 points, I think it was?
14. I thought 14.
14? It's around there.
It was earlier this month, though.
Just the worst thing about it is yesterday was his daughter's birthday, 17th birthday.
And his daughter did pass away.
Yeah.
His daughter did pass away as well.
Well,
very sad.
It wasn't that daughter.
Yeah, it was his older daughter.
Right.
And then he also has a 7-month-old.
Yeah.
Yep. And think about the wife, too.
Yeah, very, very sad, and hopefully they can make it through that.
I guess, like, it's hard to say, but I'm glad that not everyone passed away.
Right.
But at the same time, now they have to live with the grief of losing their father
and
their husband.
And their sister.
Yeah.
It's just...
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a very tough loss, and hopefully the world of sports can get through this one together as a big family, which is what tends to happen in situations like this. But getting back to baseball, obviously, I should play that after we get off.
That's a soundbite.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. But we are going to get into this episode here. This is from January 14th all the way to today, January 26th. Obviously, because we only have half hour, it's not going to be as much information, but we have a lot to talk about. And we're going to start it off with, well, we've got a lot going on with the Astros and the Astros situation. Me and Nick talked about it last podcast, but we didn't get to go in depth because we were waiting for this show specifically. So I said that we're going to talk about Astros talk with Beltran, but we might as well start it off right away. The Red Sox firing Alex Cora because of what came out with the Astros situation, ending up firing. The Astros fired their manager, general manager, and had a $5 million fine and their first and second round draft picks taken away for the next 2 years. A devastating blow for the Astros. So much more has come out in the meantime. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about with this, but I just want to first off start off with all of your reactions on just basically what is your reaction to when this news came out? How did you, when you saw it? I remember what I was doing. I was sitting on my couch, got the notification, Astros stuff released. So I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on that.
You know what, Michael? I think about it. Today just sucks for me now. You know why?
Because you could have won the World Series.
Exactly.
And then the Yankee fans were like, I could have done that.
Yeah, back-to-back World Series I could have won. Now I lose Kobe today. And it just sucks.
Damn.
It really sucks. But anyways,
not Marco's day.
It's not my day. Poor Stephen A. Smith. I'm not having a really good day. Not having a good time. Something like that.
As you know, Mr.
Sorry if I bursted your guys' ears.
Good. That was a good impression.
Mr. Campriale would be very mad at you for imitating him, though.
Could have been. But anyways, I'm obviously pretty happy that. First of all, I thought the fine suspensions were very minor. They were not good at all because $5 million is basically nothing in the MLB. It's nothing.
Right.
And when they say they suspended the manager and the general manager, I was like, that's all they're gonna do, just one season. There's no bigger punishment or anything like that. But when I saw the Astros made a bigger punishment, I was like, I respect them again now. But yesterday I was watching. This weekend was a Dodgers fan fest, and as you guys could hear, I'm a Dodger guy. So, so Justin Turner, he said that after
former Met, by the way.
Huh?
Former Met, by the way.
Yeah, he's a Dodger guy. Let it go. So what he said is that when he heard all the evidence stuff like that, he said that it was hard for them to feel like they earned it.
Right.
And it's the basic truth, a team that was, in my opinion, such a really good baseball team, really unstoppable. I was like, wow, this team is really well organized. They have a really good story because of 2017 of Hurricane Harvey and all that stuff. But then how it's now has a mark on it of oh, but they cheated. It sucks for them, you know? It sucks for us too because we could have won 2 World Series, but because of that system, they got their World Series, and it's going to be marked for the rest of MLB history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bad for baseball all around. I mean, especially for the organization. They have to live with the fact that, their World Series win will now just, like Marco said, there'll be, an asterisk around that. And, you think, is every team doing this? Were the Astros just the ones that got caught, in the Red Sox? But is every team now catching on to this new theme? That'd be Rob Manfred's worst nightmare. If every team started doing this, and this could be a trend that we see.
Yeah. So something I say a lot is that in the world of baseball, there's so many ways people can cheat. Players can cheat, you know, and obviously there's people that actually sit down and actually investigate stuff. One of the biggest thing is that we know that is illegal is having a corked bat. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't notice when it's a corked bat unless it's a broken bat in the middle of the game. So who knows how many corked bats are in the dugout in every team's dugout? So
the thing is, if there were that many, I'm sure there would be at least once a year that we would find and be like, that guy was corking his bat, but you wouldn't, because you would find out if they did break their bat. But yeah, I can get that.
That's basically the example. Who knows how many ways players are cheating? Or even when it's a steroids situation. Players were actually getting small amounts of steroids so it wouldn't pop up on their medical exams. Whether they're still doing it, but it's a new different drug that no one knows about. Yeah. There's so many ways people can do that.
And it's one of those things where baseball's a hard game. I'm sure we've all played it. And it's a very difficult game. It's hard to be good at. And it makes you kind of question the integrity of these players that got their way to the big leagues. Did they actually get there the legitimate way, or did they get it by cheating their way there? And it's just hard to say. It's very hard to say.
If you look at it, again, I don't think the suspensions were severe enough. I think they should have done more. $5 million, especially for the Astros, is chump change basically. But my whole thing was, I had a show on Friday, and we discussed: are the pitcher's even that good. Look at Verlander. Right. Since 2012, before going to the Astros, he did not have a sub 3 ERA.
Okay, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Wait, that triggered Nikosh.
Hold on. And then, since he's been there, under 3 ERA. But hold on, Garrett Cole. Is Garrett Cole that good?
Yeah.
Could the Astros just have hurt the Yankees?
Well, look, you got to think about it, Ryan, because those are pitchers. They weren't hitting.
Yeah, fair point. The pitchers aren't benefiting.
We don't, there's a lot of stuff we don't know.
Yes.
They could have used the signs for pitching too.
Yeah, like I get where you're coming from, but
then there's Charlie Morton too.
But even like Dallas Keuchel, in the same interview that JT, the Justin Turner said yesterday, Dallas Keuchel reached out to Justin Turner and said, "I'm sorry."
Right.
He's like, because he said we weren't hitting. You know, we knew about it, but we weren't hitting, so we couldn't do anything about it. They were just throwing.
But do you find it interesting? Has Keuchel been the same pitcher since he was in Houston?
Yes.
Well, no.
Yes.
No?
I've seen him
He's been
pitch with the Braves. He's been
terrible
actually really, really good with the Braves.
No.
Has he been Cy Young? Has he been Cy Young?
Honestly, after watching him pitch against the Mets about 4 times this year, I could say he could be top 3 if he pitched a full season like he did with the Braves this year.
No,
Absolutely.
he regressed.
He
regressed.
He's regressed.
Yeah, but you guys haven't watched it.
Against the Mets.
All right, guys.
Well, you gotta throw around one player.
Against
the Mets.
Okay, well, you know what? The Mets finished 10 games over 500, and that's where
Attaboy.
these two finished.
Hey! You're getting back Cespedes. Let's go with that. That's good, right?
I'd rather him sit on the bench.
Guess what? Who did you lose to in the 2015 World Series?
Oh shoot!
See, I have no dirt on you.
So I do. I have the ultimate.
I mean, we did give you Michael Fulmer, so
oh, thank you for that.
you could take him.
Hey, who's your team, Nick?
I'm a Tigers fan. If you guys didn't know.
Damn, Red.
Hey, you guys are just making those.
Oh wait, we
veteran
also have
signings.
Rick Porcello now too. That was on that team. We have Porcello, and then you've got Verlander and
Yeah. You know what's cool is that our whole pitching staff won World Series, but not with us.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's really awesome.
David Price, Justin
Verlander,
Verlander,
Price,
Porcello.
Verlander, and then you're also forgetting Scherzer
Oh, how
and
can you forget him?
Sanchez.
Oh yeah.
Very, very.
It's just an awesome day to be a Tigers fan.
It would have been nice, and like in the picture of like all them together holding the ball, be like, we just won the World Series.
I mean, Tigers.
Yeah, I would have laughed
So
so
yeah,
hard.
back to.
I love your sarcasm.
Isn't it great?
It's awesome. He's awesome.
Isn't it great being a frickin'
AL Central fan?
Detroit Tigers fan?
But yeah,
Hey,
back to what I was saying. I seriously, Dallas Keuchel's a very impressive pitcher. I saw him pitch this year a few times.
Against the Mets.
All right, he pitched in the postseason, did very well there as well. All right, I don't care. The Braves might have gotten clobbered 14-3 in that in the 5th game of the NLDS, but Dallas Keuchel is still a really great pitcher.
Yeah, I think he's a great pitcher.
He's above average.
He's good. He's above average, but he pitched against the Mets.
You know what? The Mets had the
With
best
all due
offense.
respect.
The Mets had the best second half record in the National League. So he did that against the best National League team in the second half of the season, the only time where he pitched against them, to be fair.
What about the postseason? Did he do good in the postseason?
The Braves? Yes.
the Mets.
No. But Dallas. Sorry. Where did the Dodgers end up? Oh, I'm sorry. You got your heart's crushed on a grand slam in the top of the 11th. Just if we're being mean
Against an old Dodger. Anyways, let's move on.
Yes, even more.
Yeah.
Again, this is just a friendly. We're just having friendly banter.
Hold me back.
Someone locked the door in here. I'm locked in. But yeah, I mean, all around, I don't know if it affected pitchers, but it clearly affected the batters. Gave them a very, very solid. Look, I'm not good at baseball, but if I knew what pitcher's coming every single time, I guarantee you I could hit it 3 times out of 10, and that's all you need to be. I read it the other day. All you need to do is get 3 out of 10 hits, and you're a Hall of Famer. So if you know what's coming to you, I mean, Ryan, I'm sure you know the Whit Merrifield quote that came out the other day of how he said, yeah, I'm just going to consider myself an all-star from that 2018 season because, Altuve took it from me. I'm reading this quote for quote, basically. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said, I consider myself a Hall of Famer in 2018 because Altuve cheated his way to get there.
You said, Whit considers himself a Hall of Famer in 2018, like you just said? Or all-star?
All-star?
It's fine. He's a Mets fan.
Yeah. You're not too.
Man,
bad.
that's gonna be the joke of the entire semester.
Gosh, you know what? When we win the World Series this year,
you're not even gonna win your division.
Hey,
wanna
you-
bet?
so
hey,
good,
the Mets
bro.
were
projected to win the
I
division.
remember.
Sports
Hey,
betting.
when we did the audition of this show, you were like, "Yo, new management. After the management comes in, we're in the World Series." So like, you can't win it this year.
Well, now, yeah, and if we signed a manager, we might have had the chance.
The
But
Braves are so nice.
Yeah.
These are so good.
yeah, well,
He's signed Ozuna too.
we'll get to him later.
You'll be the
Is Alonso
you'll
hitting
place
52
third in
home
your
runs?
division.
What'd you
You'll
say?
get third in your division. The Phillies are gonna be.
That's
much
true.
better.
Yeah. Braves, Phillies, Mets.
Hold on. The only way you finish second is if the Phillies
Lose Bryce Harper.
Do what they've
entire
been doing.
entire season.
If they get hurt,
if they get hurt.
Yeah.
Plus, because McCutcheon is coming back, and I think that's gonna make a difference.
Yeah,
yeah,
McCutcheon's not the player he
Harper,
once
they have
was.
Jay
though.
Bruce. Arrieta, Nola,
I mean,
Zach Wheeler.
Hey, they have Pete Alonso, so they're fine, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
him
too
hit
bad
60 home
Petey-
runs.
They're gonna
Petey
try to.
boy.
They're
60
gonna
home
try to.
runs?
Huh?
Did you say 60 home runs?
I said watch him go hit 60 home runs. You know,
don't know.
it's possible.
The
Oh,
polar
of
bear.
course,
balls-
it's possible.
the balls
Everything's possible,
The
but
balls won't be juiced this year, so we'll have to wait and see how that's going to go down because they did change the balls.
Just wait. Soler's going off for 60.
Soler's going
He's
to.
going for 60.
Who beat Soler in the
RBIs.
home run rankings?
AL
We're
home
just
run
we're
king.
just like
We're
we're just
RBIs, right?
we're just hammering each other.
Yeah.
This is just so rude.
it's
All
a
right.
good first show.
It is. We're gotta get attention, you know. But yeah. So overall, I think the Astros punishments were fair. I like how I really enjoyed how the Astros actually went on to fire their manager and general manager, and then the Mets said to go on and fire Carlos Beltran. Which honestly, when that
He
happened, I
stepped
said
down.
no. They
They
fired
pressured
him.
him to step down so
It
they
was-
didn't have to pay his contract.
All right, fine, whatever. But
You know what? Tables have turned. It's not a good day for you, Michael.
Hey, I'm actually honestly, I wasn't happy with the Beltran hiring in the first place, but I took it because I preferred him over Eduardo Perez, who was the only other finalist. I still am mad that the Mets didn't sign a veteran manager who has managed before, but Luis Rojas has 7 years of minor league management under his belt, and he's a very high-toted manager. So, honestly, I think he has a better chance of running this team than Beltran does any day. So, I'm happy. I was happy for Beltran because everyone likes Beltran. He's a very well-liked guy in the organization, but I really believe that Luis Rojas probably will give us a better chance at success than Beltran would have.
Wow, that's a bold take.
Well, honestly,
we won't be able to see it happen, so.
yeah, no, we wouldn't have. But honestly, we probably would have found some trash cans
That's true.
in the clubhouse that were unmarked.
Imagine before he left his office, he left the blueprints.
Oh my God. He's like, hey, psst. This is how you should use this. It's like, you guys want to break 500 for the first time ever? Use these. But yeah, with that,
Nice.
we're going to take a quick break before getting into the rest of the show. But make sure you stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. We'll be right back.
You know what's really a shame? The fact that nobody cares about youth baseball parlays, or that nobody seems to bother with MAC football anymore. I haven't heard a good barbecue review in a while. I just want to know if the Terrible Place Dining Hall has good pulled pork. Radio has just gotten boring.
Wait a minute.
Switch it up.
Have you ever heard of the 14th floor?
The 14th floor? Like a Taylor place?
No, the 14th floor crew, the bad boys of Blaze Radio. Jackson Zuber, Zach Keenan, Nick Zeller Singh, and Harrison Klopp.
Listen to the 14th Floor Crew. Prime time Tuesday nights, 9:30 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Well, that was quite the interesting break. We are back here ready for a spectacular show, second half of this show. We don't have tons to talk about left. Obviously, we talked about the Mets and Beltran. We're just going to swim away from that because I'm satisfied. But
I thought you were going to say you were roasted already or something.
no, I'm good.
I mean, he was.
I'm a
but
Mets fan. I'm used to it. It's my
There you go.
life.
That's
Okay,
the way to look
okay.
at it.
I'm
That's
a Mets fan from New York when I had Yankee fans walking down the hallways telling me that I sucked. It's my life. I'm used
Attaboy.
to it. I have no... I mean,
Isn't Kevin James a Mets fan?
Yes, he is. Legend. I love Kevin James.
Awesome.
He's a great guy.
Did you meet him?
Don't tell me he died. No.
Damn.
No, but you,
No,
but like you just brought it up out
that's
of
not
nowhere.
exactly what I was going for.
You brought it up out of nowhere. I'm like, what happened now?
I'm just saying. I just asked you because
Yes,
He's a Mets fan.
He has a TV show. He had a TV show. It was pretty solid for the
this
first
is-
2 seasons.
all right, moving on before we talk about more deaths, bro. Come on.
Damn, we're just, oh man. So, continuing along here, we've got some signings that have happened in the last week. The Twins signing Josh Donaldson.
No.
I'm surprised that you're the one doing that and Ryan's not. Mister, we're going to be a contender this year.
No, I said in 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, okay.
3 years, baby.
We're gonna be a contender. You're gonna see us win the World Series again, I bet. So
We'll
Josh
win the World Series
Donaldson.
before you do.
Okay, we should. Can we place bets on this?
I do not condone sports betting on live radio. It is
Neither
not
am
good
I.
radio.
I'm talking
actually
about.
is good radio.
We are betting Hershey bars. I will bet you 3 Hershey bars.
Oh,
3
dude,
Hershey
I don't
bars.
like Hershey bars.
Damn.
This is
Well, you're not
bad.
involved in the betting,
We
though.
need
It's
like
just.
Sour Patch
We
Kids.
can make a 4-way bet. Whoever wins.
Okay, I
the
don't
first-
want to be in this bet. I don't have no confidence in my team right now.
Fair point. Fair point. Nick's just gonna be sitting there. He's like, "Damn, you guys are just gonna be kicking me, and I'm just gonna have no. I have no hope. But it's okay. We love you, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
But the Twins signing Josh Donaldson, their newest third baseman, to a 4-year, $84 million contract, which is worth $21 million a year, with a 5th-year player option. I don't know if it's a player option or not, but it's worth $16 million. That's a pretty good deal for him.
Especially with his age.
And he
Yeah.
resurrected his career.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and he smashed 11 home runs against the Mets last year. This guy knows how to hit. Oh, it's against the Mets. It's not a big deal.
Hey,
You
we didn't
said-
say
you
it. Come
said it,
on.
not-
You
I-
said it, not
I-
us.
I-
I can hear it coming already.
No,
We heard it from your voice first.
We talked before during the break, like, hey, you know what? Let's give Michael a little bit of a break. Let's let him have his moments. But hey,
okay.
that's on you.
I'm a Mets fan. My motto as a Mets fan is you can't have your hopes destroyed if you don't have hopes in the first place, which is why you have to have your hopes built up as a Mets fan, because their goal is to destroy them for you. Plain and simple. So, this is a really good deal for the Twins. I love how we just gone on so many tangents on the show. Whatever. But the Twins this is a great contract if he can play to the way that we know he can. He's a great player, great third baseman. He's got a pretty good glove out there, very underrated glove. And he's quite the leader in the clubhouse. And for a Twins team that's coming off a division championship, now they have to go up against a very contentious White Sox, who are now out of nowhere like the best team in the division. This is a very good move for them. And I think for Donaldson, this is a smart move.
Don't forget about you brought up contending teams. Don't forget about the Tigers and the Royals.
Well, I mean, they're guaranteed.
Hey, we're contending for that #1 draft pick.
Hey, me
Bump me
too.
on that one.
Attaboy.
Bump me on that one. Bump me
Attaboy.
on that one.
Yep.
That's going to be a heated rivalry all season long. But yeah,
Take for 2.
it's just
Take for Spencer Torkelson.
it's going to be a interesting deal to see Donaldson back in the AL. First of all, he could play DH if his glove starts to go away. I think this is a really good contract. The AL has gotten so many great arms and bats this entire offseason. This is going to be a really, really solid contract and a really solid deal for the Twins. Next up, this is the only reason why I had this in here is because it's one of those legendary names. The Braves, back to the Braves. Oh, the Braves are so good. They signed Felix Hernandez to replace their Dallas Keuchel hole for a one-year, $1 million contract. I'm actually, honestly, even though the guy's probably not going to play, I'm really excited to see Felix Hernandez pitch probably once during the season. He's still a great player. I really didn't think he was going to play again.
Minor league
Yeah, it's
deal,
a minor
though?
league deal.
It was, but the Mets just signed Eduardo Nunez to a minor league deal, and you all know when injuries happen, this guy's going to come up. It's plain and simple.
What is the Mets? So
Yeah, well, that's true. But the Braves, if someone gets injured on the Braves, this guy will probably be the first one to get called up, and rightly so. I didn't think he was going to be signed to another contract again once he left the Mariners, but I was quite surprised when I saw this news break out. I think it's a good move for him. $1 million deal. I mean, hey, you can't complain about that.
Well, the good thing about the deal is that he's able, like, potentially, like, I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he could be, like, in a World Series run, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
But it's a really difficult division, though. But he's going to make $1 million I don't want to say just sitting there, you know? Unless he's like, hey, I'm going to take this season seriously, you know? Or I don't know. But, like, Felix Hernandez can have was just given a free $1 million just to
ring chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really, really
Can't
great
beat him,
move.
join him.
Yeah, fair point.
I mean,
Unless you're Mike Trout.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, he got
Trout.
drafted, so.
Yeah, that's true. But I just think it's a very, very smart move for Felix to take that. Then we've got the news of the Hall of Fame coming out. Derek Jeter and Larry Walker both inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, not officially yet, but they were voted into the Hall of Fame. Derek Jeter was one vote away from being unanimous.
So dumb.
and Larry Walker.
Oh, this is going to be good.
No, I was going to keep myself a little quiet, but it's okay. Larry Walker got himself voted in as well on his last, I believe it was his last year on the ballot.
It was his 10th and final year.
Yeah,
10th
so
and final one.
An amazing opportunity for him. Larry Walker who actually ended up having better stats over his career than Derek Jeter.
Here we go.
But no, that's the thing.
OPS.
That's the thing for me. Is that this guy has better stats than Jeter and was a 10th balloter.
Stats don't mean everything.
I know they don't mean everything, but I'm just saying the fact that he was a 10th balloter barely got in, and Jeter was a right away. I'm not saying Jeter didn't deserve
it. His percentage was too.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Jeter didn't deserve it. I'm just shocked that Larry Walker didn't get in earlier. That's the only point I'm trying to make. Is how I'm just really, really surprised that Walker wasn't put in earlier. Again, I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm happy that Jeter wasn't unanimous because I don't think he deserved unanimity.
I agree with you.
Wow. Thank you. I like you even more now.
I'm not saying that Jeter completely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He does not deserve it.
Absolutely.
Man. The fact that Mariano Rivera made it unanimously.
He was the best closer of all time.
Okay, fair.
That's what I get. Like, Rivera, best closer of all time.
Jeter was not even top 5.
Reliever of all time.
But when you're talking about in terms of, like, you have to think, Hall of Fame is not just about stats, this, and that. It has to do with accolades, legacy, and a little bit of stats. When it comes to Jeter, like, if Mo was unanimous, so should have Jeter. That's where I'm going with it. Like, Jeter was the best player on that Yankees team for such a long time, and the fact that him and Mo were on that same team together, and Mo was unanimous and Jeter wasn't, is mind-boggling.
But you also have to keep in mind that there are also players that are better leaders and players than Jeter. Well, almost as good leaders.
I want to go leader.
Yeah, like in the ballpark leader, but better players overall that didn't even come close to unanimity. I mean, Babe Ruth wasn't unanimous.
Okay, well,
that was, I mean...
They had no one to compare him to that time yet.
Well, I think I mean, I was going to say like Ted Williams, but I don't think they started voting for the Hall of Fame until like later, which is why I don't think Babe Ruth was unanimous. But I don't know. I just really was, I was holding firm to the point that I don't think he should have been unanimous, and he wasn't. And look, I'm okay with that. I actually ended up being the most liked reply to John Heyman's tweet when I said I wouldn't have voted for him just because he didn't deserve to be unanimous, which I found kind of funny. Not to toot my own horn. I don't really care about that. But, I mean, I personally would have left him off just because I knew he didn't deserve to be unanimous. And I know that's not a good way, and that's why I'm not a writer. But me and Marco were going to talk about it in our sports media, multimedia journalism class, how the Hall of Fame process is just so messed up in the first place. The writers are very biased. They have very personal biases that really impacts the way that they vote. Hence why Barry Bonds is not in, and why a lot of other players. Yeah, like Pete Rose should have. Yeah. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
And like one thing I'm going to be debating for the rest of my life, I was like, okay, Pete Rose isn't allowed. So what about the players?
Exactly.
That cheated in the World Series.
Right.
Are they able to go into the Hall of Fame?
Pete Rose did it as a coach, not even as a player.
Exactly. Yeah. If A-Rod is let into the Hall of Fame, then that's even more ridiculous. And I think he probably will. I'm going to put money on it that I'm not promoting gambling, just a figure of speech. I'm going to just say right now that I'm going to say that A-Rod's probably going to be a first rounder, and I think that's ridiculous by the fact that Barry Bonds is your home run king and is
first rounder or first ballot.
Ballot.
Is it a draft again or what?
All right. You know what? It's just Bash Michael Day. I'm just gonna leave. I'll let you guys handle. But seriously, I think A-Rod's probably going to be a first balloter
overall.
Yes.
Out of what college?
Or what? Out of what high school? What position?
Shortstop.
What's his numbers?
Third base. 13. I can keep up. Not
he
as well.
He can keep up.
Not as well because I'm. All right, whatever. We're moving on. It's fine. It's Bash Michael Day. But look, who
would be his girlfriend though?
That actually is a really interesting question.
Oh my gosh.
But because J-Lo was not a member of the relationship at the time of playing. Just kidding. But I don't know. I feel like A-Rod probably will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and the fact that he probably will be is it's sad that Barry Bonds he's your home run king and might not even get into the Hall of Fame, but A-Rod might get in and wasn't even close. And A-Rod was caught doing steroids. So I don't know. That's going to be very interesting. The Hall of Fame just is very, very messed up in the first place, in my opinion. But then we don't have we only have one thing left, and it's back to the Braves, the good old mighty Braves. The Braves signing Marcell Ozuna to a 1-year, $18 million contract. Very big deal for him that he didn't sign. I mean, I said it to Nick last show, and I believe I've said it many times, how the Mets, I just got a tweet about the Mets, that's why. But I'm always thinking about the Mets. It's just not fair. But Marcell Ozuna and others, a lot of players signing 1-year deals this entire offseason. 1-year contract was the theme of this offseason, which means that next offseason is going to be even more packed with very top-tier players like Marcell Ozuna. And because of that, I think that's going to provide for a very curious offseason next year. But Marcell, a 1-year contract, $18 million. I mean, there's nothing more to say than that is a good deal. It's going to benefit him a lot, and it should benefit the Braves as well.
Yeah.
Michael, I'm going to cut in and just say something.
Yes.
That tweet that you just got about Jeff McNeil.
Uh-huh.
So he played for one of the victims in the helicopter crash.
Wow.
And here's what he said about Kobe. He's one of the main reasons I'm still playing professional baseball.
Wow. It just gets deeper and deeper.
The wounds are getting deeper.
I love how you were on top of that tweet. Just you were ready for it.
Yeah.
All right, back to you, Marco.
I forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, no, I'm just
We're
kidding.
talking about
it's smart for the Braves, smart for Marcell Ozuna, disappointment for the Cardinals. Because Cardinals had a great year. Did they make it that? Well, they made it to the
well, they got swept in the NLCS.
Yeah, in the NLCS. But now they lost a key piece of their team.
Right.
They lost a really, really, really prestigious bat. Now the Braves, they have a really good bat. And now, top it off, they have Josh Donaldson on the team now. So
No, they don't. He's on the Twins. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Oh, I predicted Donaldson was going to go to the Braves.
Because he already was. A lot of people thought he was going to re-sign.
Yeah.
I thought Rendon was going there, but still, they needed a bat, and they finally got one, which was the important part. But, I mean, it's been a really, really great show here. First show of the Running the Bases out here, the specialty show. Not a podcast. Just putting that out there. Not a podcast. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Day for roasting Michael.
Yeah, it's just not my day. It's fine. But it's been a tough day in sports.
Peace, Kobe.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you guys for joining me alongside Ryan Blank, Nick Nath, and Marco Peralta. Thank you, everybody, and have a really great Sunday.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me.